to episode 1480 of the Multifamily Collective. Today, let's talk about controllables, things that you can control, because right now there are a lot of things that are outside of your control, outside of your ability to actually influence an outcome based on some sort of macroeconomics. So things like market fluctuations right now. The best evidence of that is interest rates rising and what that does to loans on certain multifamily properties. You've got always changing regulations happening out in the marketplace. You have residents behaviors and demands that are changing as a result of big tech influence, the way that we shop at Amazon, the way we can pick up an Uber, the way that we can get food delivered to our home. All these things are shaping consumer behavior, and those impacts are things that we can't control. We can control what we do to address them or be prepared for them, but we can't necessarily control them directly. So all of those things are happening, but there are things that are in our control on a daily basis at a property, at the property level. You've heard it. I know you've heard this statement: broom clean, be nice, be kind. Those are things that you can control. Those are things that your team members can do when they show up each day to play out this act, if you will, of property management. I don't mean acting property management, but I mean you walk into this theater that we call a clubhouse, that we call a leasing center, and you act out the behaviors of property management. And that goes through the disciplines of sales, through the disciplines of customer service, through the disciplines of serving the consumer after the sale with keeping service requests done in a timely manner, doing the work right the first time, keeping your property clean, your curb appeal clean, freshly painted curb lines, freshly painted common area amenities, railings, and things of that nature, keeping your gutters cleaned out. Everybody knows about a gutter garden, right? A good gutter garden is when you haven't cleaned your gutters in, let's say, since the property was built. It's full of dirt now and it's growing trees. I've seen trees literally a couple feet tall. And I heard somebody refer to them as gutter gardens. So let's not have gutter gardens in our properties or at our properties. But the point is keeping gutters clean, keeping all of those detail oriented things that register in a consumer's mind when they're walking through a community, when they're touring a community and making a buying decision. All these little data points are registering in the mind as part of the buying decision. So you have to keep all of those things sharp on a daily basis. Sometimes it's good in a controllable respect to bring somebody to your community that doesn't live there. They may be a friend of yours. Get that friend that has a real sharp eye and loves to be critical. I mean that in the kindest sense. Have them come to your property and just walk through. And especially somebody that's really into branding and merchandising, have them come through and just walk through your community and just say, hey, you know what, that needs fresh paint. Obviously, regional managers should be doing this kind of thing. Vice presidents should be doing this kind of thing. But if you're a really, really good property manager, really good maintenance supervisor, somebody that's really in tune in terms of taking an owner's perspective, you'll do this yourself. And you'll identify all those areas on your property that need attention, those things that you can control, and you'll have plans and strategies in place to make things sure that those things are addressed on a daily basis. One of the things we relied on, I can't remember the company that I worked for, this thing called Open the Store. And it was basically a checklist, and it ran through 25 items that you needed to do. And it was from everything from opening the leasing center, the business center, to opening the pool, to opening the tour or the models rather, or the vacant units that you were going to show for that day, and going through and spiffing them with your sparkle bucket. But all of those things are necessary to make sure that you're showing up in a way that is beneficial to the consumer, that's beneficial to your team members, that's beneficial to the operation of the community. And those are all things that you can control. There's so much outside of our control today that we really need to get hyper focused on those things that we can control and make sure that those things are dialed in and they present well for the consumer. It will be the difference maker between those communities that really thrive in a difficult environment versus those that take a step back. That could be 1 or 2 points of occupancy, but that 1 or 2 points of occupancy can make a real difference on the P&L these days. So broom clean, hit the fundamentals, open your store every day, show up and be a beneficial presence to the world. We'll take care. We'll see you again soon.